Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Monica's Develop. Today we will be diving into something that turns your Python scripts into real apps, which is Tkinter. In today's video we will see on the introduction, then we'll look at the widgets, what is the geometry management and the event handling. By end of this video you will be able to create a small screen or app like the screen which you can see here. So Tkinter is a module in a Python which can be used to create a GUI. GUI are the graphical user interfaces where we can use different images, text box, labels, and user will be able to understand. It will be more of user friendly. So what is widgets? While considering a Tkinter, widgets are anything that is appearing on your screen. It could be a button, labels, checkbox, scroll bars, or a text area. These are the basic widgets you can see here. So this black border you can see, that will be considered as a frame. You can add multiple frame inside one window. Then this is the label, and this is the entry where you will be getting a user inputs. Then this is the checkbox, and this is the radio button, and this is the button. So these are some basic widgets which will be available with this Tkinter package. So to create a widget, you need to create an instance of every widget class. For example, if you are trying to create a button widget, you have to create an object of a button class. The same thing happens to all the widgets. Every widget needs a parent. So whenever you are creating an object of that particular widget, you need to pass the parent for that widget as an inside the constructor. Okay. The main window is the top parent, and all other widgets are like a children inside this main window. So let's consider that this is your form or the application form which you are going to create by end of this video. So here the frame will be, the main window will be my topmost root or a top parent, and under which the frame will come, and under the frame this all childs will be coming. That will create an hierarchy which is called the widgets hierarchy. So as we seen, the first will be the root window. Inside that we'll be creating a frame. As you can see, this border or a frame is considered as a second child for this particular root parent, and this frame will be considered as a parent for this all the attributes which will be including into our form, which is the button, label, entry, check button, and radio button. So this whole thing is called as an hierarchy, widget hierarchy. So geometry management. Where should the widgets go inside the window? You can just throw widgets into a window randomly. You have to tell the Tkinter how to arrange them. So those work of arranging them will be done by the geometry management. So these are the three different ways how we can manage those widgets or how we can place those widgets. So first method is a pack method, where pack widgets side by side or top to bottom automatically. You can just add the widget.pack method. It will by default taken care by the computer or by the system, and the widgets will be put side by side or a top to bottom. The next method is a grid method, where widgets will be placed in rows and columns. It will be like an Excel sheet. By end of this video, we will be creating a form with using the grid method. And the third is the place. This place function puts widgets at an exact XY positions, where user will be providing X and Y positions. The third concept comes with the Tkinter is the event handling. So doing something when the user interacts with your app, this will be done as an event handling things. So a click, a key press, moving the mouse, all these are called as an events. You connect an event to a function. For example, when user clicks on a button, you can put an action with the function name, and what action you need to define, that will be added into the function. Now let's understand the same thing by the demo as discussed. So here we will be having one form. We will be creating a form like this, where this will be my frame. I will be adding into my main window, and as we decided that we will be using the grid as my, so the best method to arrange this all widgets is using the grid method. So we will be using the grid, where this column will be my column 1, and this is my second column. This is my first column, this is my second column. And when we consider row, this is my first row, this is the second row, and this will come as a third row. So when we want to put the label username, the grid will be first column, first row. When we want to add this text box, the grid will be second column, first row. The similar thing happens for this remaining widgets as well. So let's start the demo. First we need to do is the import command to import the Tkinter. If you don't have this class available, or if you don't have this module available, all you need to just right click and import this module. Now the first thing we'll be doing is we will be creating a root, which is our main window. So here we will be putting tk. So this will create a window. So whenever we have a root, and if we run this, let me show it, you will not be able to see anything, and it will just finish the code. So if you want to use it, or if you want to see it, all you need to do is root dot, you have to use this main loop method. Now if we run this code, you can see that unless and until you click on this close button, this window will not get closed. So this root.main loop is important. We will write our code inside this because whatever written after this main loop will not get executed. The next thing we will be doing is we need to create a frame. So let's put a frame. So tk dot frame. As I said, for every widget, the input we will be passing is the parent name. So frame will be inside this root. The next thing we will be creating is the label, which is the test label. Again tk dot label. Again the parent for this label will be my frame. Right? So this label will be inside the frame. Similarly, we are going to create a test button. So we have this button. For this also we will be passing parent as a frame. Next we have is the test entry. For this also we are going to pass frame. With the test label, if you see, frame is my child, but also I need to add the text here. So I'll be providing text as username. With the button, I'll be providing text as submit. And with the entry, we will not provide anything because it's going to take the input. Next, we will be having is the checkbox. So let's try checkbox. So to get the checkbox, we use the check button, and again we will pass this method as a parent frame. So it will reside inside the frame, and the text will be check button. Same thing happens for the radio button. We will put test radio tk dot I will pass frame as a parent and text as radio button. Okay, so this is what we are going to include in our code, and let me run and show. You can see here the screen is empty, though we have all this created this variable different widgets. You can see that the screen is empty. The reason is because here in Python or in Tkinter you have to explain how you can put those things. So for that we use the geometry management, which we have just now saw. So to add this frame, we all need to use this grid method. As discussed previously, we have already come up with so there are 3 different methods as we have seen. So if you use pack, you don't need to provide anything, it will just add those values. So let's first try with the pack. Then we have test button radio dot pack. Then we have test button dot pack. Then we have test checkbox dot pack. Then we have test entry pack. Okay, so these are the things. Now if I run this code, you can see that by default those are getting created. Let me show the screen here. You can see the screen, it is using this top to bottom in the center, where it is just adding all those elements one by one. So this is how the pack works. The next one is the grid method. We are going with the grid method, where we have already designed. So here we have already decided the label will come on the first column, first row. So let's draw it where we have the test label. So column equals to 1 and row equals to 1. Right? Similarly for the frame also we'll be putting same values, 1 and row equals to 1. For the test radio, let's see what value we have. So this radio button will be under column 2, row 2. So add it here, column 2, row 2. Now we have the button, test button. You see here test button, it is under column 2 and row 3. We have to add here column 2, row 3. The next is the checkbox. Checkbox is at column 1, row 2. And the last is the test entry. The test entry is at column 2, row 1. Now if we run this code, let's see how it looks like. Okay, we have something as test label.pack. saying bad option. Okay, let's just see. Okay, so the method we have not changed. Instead of pack, we need to use this grade method because we have changed it to grade now. Pack does not need all this column and row values, as it will be done automatically. So I'll run this code now, and you can see this is what we were looking for. Right now the frame is not visible because we need to add the frame. We need to do some changes with the border. When we are creating a frame, we need to add here that relief equals to solid. This will create a solid border with the length. So here I'll put border is equals to 10. Now let's run this code again. Now you can see, right, it is creating a border, and inside you can see username with the entry box, check button, radio button, and submit. So this was the small code we have created, and in the next video we will see the advanced options. What are other advanced options available with the Tkinter? Yeah. Thank you. Till then, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.